CSS selectors and XPath. Both of them can be used to select web elements in a HTML document. Now, what should you use? That is, should you stick with CSS selectors, which you learned in the beginning, or should you use XPath instead? In this video, we will take a look at the differences between both of the selectors and what are the pros and cons of them. Now, first of all, what I will do is just remove the code we had earlier because we want to keep it simple. So let's say what we want to do is select the title here, that is our A tag with the title inside of it. So I will first of all mark the start of our parse function with a print statement so that we can identify our output in the long chain of text. And then to use the CSS selector on our response, we can just use the CSS method to which we can provide the selector. And here we want to select this title right here, that is this text right here. To do that, we can just use its parent, that is the h3, and the relationship, that is h3, and inside of that we want to select a tag, that is a link element. So what I can do is just use the h3 tag name followed by a space, the a tag, and that's it for our CSS selector. Now for our XPath, that is, we can also select XPaths on our response using the XPath method like this. And for our XPaths, we have to write the element selectors in a folder structure. That is, in our folder structures, you will see we have the folder like x/scraper/ebook scraper. That is, we separate the parent and the child with a slash. The same goes here as well. And if we want to select any element inside of our HTML document with XPath, we have to use two slashes like this. Make sure you use this slashes, that is a backslash, not a forward slash. And now we want to select a h3 element, so we'll just use the tag name like CSS selectors, and then inside of this we want to select a tag. So here we will use just a single slash, that is just like a folder structure, that is just the child beneath it. So inside of h3 we want to select a tag, which will be separated by a slash like this. So that's how we select the a tag with XPath. Now you can see that the differences between the same, that is in CSS we just remove the slashes altogether, and in XPath we have the slashes. Now one thing to note here is that we want to get the text as well, and to do that with CSS we already know how to do it. That is, we use the pseudo element selector, that is two colons like this, and then the text like this. In XPath, we can do the same using just a slash and the text function like this. And one thing to note here is that XPath is solely designed to select web elements, or more specifically XML documents. That's why you can find a lot of functions which can be used to select web elements like this, that is the text function right here. And there are some functions in CSS as well, but there are a lot in XPath. So here we have selected the text of our heading or the title using CSS, that is this right here. And then we have done the same using XPath as well. Of course, at first glance, the CSS one looks really good. That is, it is easier to read and write as well. But the XPath one does look a bit cluttered, like we have the slashes, the elements, no space between them. But by the way, you can insert space between them like this as well. But the main thing is that it looks cluttered. That is, the CSS one, of course, looks easier, and the XPath one looks a bit difficult. That's why I suggested to learn CSS selectors when we started out. But of course, XPath has its perks as well. So CSS is of course good looking, that is, it is easier to write, but XPath is actually the main thing which is doing the selection. That is, here, if I go ahead and print the response of the CSS, that is the CSS selection, not the data, that is, I'm not using the get method here, just the selection. And I'll just print the first selection because there are a lot of titles in our web page, so it will select all of them. That's why I just want the first selection and see what it is. So I will also print the XPath one as well, like this. And let's wrap these up inside of our print function. like this one as well. And then what I will do is just label them with CSS and XPath. So this one is coming from CSS, and then this one is coming from XPath. Let's surround them within brackets as well so that it looks cool. And the same for CSS. Okay, perfect. Now let's run our spider. That is, let's run our spider, ebook spider. Let's wait for the finish. And then here you will see we have the parse method, that is a start. And then we have the CSS selector. You will note that it is a selector object in which we have the XPath. Note that inside of the CSS selection, we have the XPath calculated. Then we have the actual data, that is this right here, which is the text. Now you will note that we have a similar structure with some things we don't know, like descendant or self of h3, a slash, then again we don't know. And inside of that we have a, and after that we have the text function. You can see we have two parentheses like this. And for the XPath, it is just a selector which has the XPath we have written right here. That is this, that is two slashes, h3, a, and the text function. And then we have the data right here. So one thing to note here is that the CSS selectors which we write here are actually converted to XPath, because as I mentioned earlier, XPath is created to be the selector language for XML documents and HTML documents. So if we write CSS selectors, it is actually converted into XPath. CSS selectors are just a simplified version of XPaths. Of course, if you want to write XPaths, then you can directly write it, but it's fine even if we use CSS selectors as well. Now, one last thing to note here is that XPath does offer some things which CSS cannot do, like some functions like the processors, translate, etc. And CSS can do pretty much everything you will need to do, like an attribute selector, a class selector, and many more things. So for most of the cases, CSS selectors work just fine, and more than that. But if you want, you can also use XPath selectors as well, because it is the main thing which is used in the background. So either way, my advice will be to stick with CSS if you're comfortable with it. But if you find XPath more comfortable, then you can use that as well. And just for this reason, I have created another course based on CSS selectors and XPath, in which you will learn all about CSS selectors and XPath. That is, how can we select a element based on its position, how can we use different XPath functions, etc. So I recommend you to check out that course as well if you plan on learning about CSS selectors and XPath in more depth. So my conclusion is, if you're comfortable with CSS selectors, then of course stick with it. But if you find XPath more comfortable for you, then just use that. Anyways, in the upcoming lessons, we'll discuss more about the CSS selectors and XPath. So see you there.